you always have to be open to creativity. And if someone's come up with an idea, it could be whoever, it could be the runner over there. But if someone says something and it's a great idea, what does it matter who said it? You've got to be open to bringing that in and going, can we try that out?
Hi and welcome. Today we have a special guest today with us. He's a director and writer, Steve Crowhurst. First of all, tell us a little bit about yourself.
It's a tough one, really. I mean, I'm a writer, I'm a director. Within TV, I'm also a series producer, series director, edit producer. Lots of different things, basically. But within film, it's writing and directing. And initial kind of producing, really, to get things off the ground.
You got to believe it, and you can do it, because you're Jack the lad, aren't you?
You'll never be any good! You'll never be anyone! I said get out! Are you stupid?
We need these scum off the streets.
In your journey, how did you jump from short films to feature films? What was the process for you?
A long one, if I'm honest. It was a long one. I came out of uni and started to make short films, but it was a good 8 years until I got around to making a feature film. That was mainly because I moved into doing a lot of television, documentaries, etc. And that took up a lot of time. I was still writing in my spare time, but to actually focus on gaining the funding for a feature was very hard to do. And I just wanted to carry on getting shorts under my belt.
Yes. How many shorts did you do before you got to the feature level?
Okay. When I was at uni, my final year of uni, I did 5. Like as the final project. When I left uni, not as many as you probably imagine. I did probably 6.
Okay. Well, that's still a lot.
Yeah.
Within the 8 years up to the feature, that's a good amount, I think.
Yeah. I mean, one of those was we filmed a short film. Off the back of that, we were able to put that, recut that into a music video. And off the back of that, we shot some extra footage where we kind of used it as a abstract dance film, basically. So yeah, it was kind of making the most of.
So you repurposed that footage for other things,
and that was the plan to start with.
And give it more life as well. Because
Exactly.
short films don't really have that long of a life.
No, not at all, not at all. And I think that we knew I was doing a music video for the band called The Allergies, who are doing quite well at the moment. And I came up with a concept for that. Off the back of that, I knew I wanted to do a short film of that. So I said, look, if you're paying, I think they gave us like $2,000, something like that, which was peanuts. But off the back of that, I could see an opportunity to maximise what we were getting out of that process,
Cool. And when you did Big Boys Don't Cry, you did a short for that first, didn't you?
Did, yeah, proof of concept, yeah.
How, was that always the plan?
Yeah, well, when because it's based on a true story, Paul Connolly and the exec, Richard Hart, I discussed it with them really, and I said the best way for us to get funding, because I hadn't made a feature before, was probably do a proof of concept. So I wrote the script on that. We put quite a lot of money into that proof of concept and shot it on an Alexa, like the original Alexa, because I like that kind of film grain that it has. And that was good enough, obviously, to get the money in for our film. I think it would have taken a lot longer without that.
And who do you feel like helped you in that journey into moving from shorts to features? Because a lot of people forget that there's other people involved too.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a team effort,
Yeah, it's a team effort. So in your team, who do you feel like really helped push things along?
So I mean, I have always worked with the same DOP, even since I was doing shorts back in the day.
Okay.
He's someone that I was at uni and I was given an opportunity to work with him. And he's just done everything I've done.
Yeah.
And that has created a real understanding between me and him.
Yes.
So he is someone that's really helped, you know, my kind of vision and what I want a short to be.
Yes.
He, you know, he's integral to what I do.
Yeah.
As well as people that I've known in TV world, you know, all the people that I know and love and I know are great at what they do, I've pulled them across into Big Boys Don't Cry. Because I think it's, you know, it's not always about who's brilliant at their job. I like to foster some form of, you know, a set that is a happy set.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, yes, yes.
I've been on too many jobs where it's a ball ache, to say the least. And it's a real sort of run on fear. And I don't think that should be the way anything creative is made.
When you moved from short films into features, what changed for you, or what did you take?
In terms of the amount of, you know, kind of within a short, say you're doing like a 15-minute short, you know, you're doing well over 4 or 5 times the work on that, aren't you, for a feature? So it was the scale of it, maybe.
Just the scale.
But to be honest, I felt absolutely convinced and happy with what I was doing. So really, I guess pressure, a little bit of pressure, more pressure on your shoulders, because when you're making something just for yourself and you're putting in festivals, there's less pressure on you when you're talking about bigger money.
Yeah. Did the proof of concept affect the feature film? Did it change the feature script?
Yeah, to a certain extent it did, yeah. I mean, I used the bare elements of what the story was about. And it was more of an abstract proof of concept in a way.
Yeah.
You know, it was more about feel, tone,
Yes.
you know, narrative kind of abstract structure, which is in the final film.
Yes.
But, you know, everything then became about finding out more about this guy's life and trying to work on that. So it helped inform the feature, but they're two very different things in my head.
Yes. What do you recommend for someone like me? I'm going to be filming a short very soon.
Yeah.
What are the key things that I need to have ready before we start pressing record?
To have a clear vision of what you want.
Yes.
It is a team effort, but you need to stick to the truth within you. And, you know, I've had not arguments, but discussions with my DOP before, where, you know, it's been taking a long time to set a shot up. And, you know, there are shots that exist that you get because you want to try it. But if they're taking too long when you're on a tight schedule, you have to cut your losses and move on. So it's sticking to your guns, but obviously discussing it with people, and if there's a way to do it, then do it. But I would say a storyboard. Have a clear vision in your head of what you want. I mean, even if it's just a sketched out thing, I do that. You know,
Some people don't storyboard.
No, exactly. And I think that since day one, because I went to art college, I used to sketch out films before I wrote a narrative.
Okay.
You know, so I'd have an idea, I'd sketch it out, and then I'd, you know, put dialogue within that. And that's a weird way of working, I know, but.
Do you do some people do the camera mapping of how they, I mean, I'm not a director, so.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. I think that that's part of your pre-production, you know, but that's more of a feature thing, I'd say. You know, I think that a lot of the time you're moving into a place, you've gone in, you walked in once, you looked at it, and I think instinctively, you know where and how to shoot what is up here.
Yes, because obviously you're dreaming about it, thinking about it, you're preparing for it. Absolutely. So you've had those shots in mind up until the day you start filming. What is the most common mistake you see new directors do?
Rushing. I think rushing there. Rushing either the actors, or, you know, they're too keen to get this scene done, or to or actually being too stuck on their vision.
Yes.
You know, you always have to be open to creativity. And if someone's come up with an idea, it could be whoever, it could be the runner over there. But if someone says something and it's a great idea, what does it matter who said it? You've got to be open to bringing that in and going, can we try that? Or, you know, I think you've got to have your vision, and then you've got to have space for creativity to exist.
And how was it for you working with the actors into getting that emotion and making them do their best?
In the feature?
Both ideas.
Yeah, I mean, when I'd say within shorts, I've always worked with actors that we've paid, you know. I think that's a really important thing to do. Where you can pay people, pay them, because, you know, everyone's trying to, you know, get further up the ladder, you know. But you're not always working with, and all due respect to the people that have been in my shorts, you're not always working with, you know, the top sort of talent, you know. But I have worked with people that have gone on to do great things, actually. And it's about it's about having a connection between you and them. It's about talking way before that camera rolls, you know. It's about discussing what the character is, what their motivation is, where, you know, kind of where they're from in their life, where they're at, where they're going. And I think that there's a lot of stuff within people that they can bring to the surface, especially actors, you know, that are good actors. But working on Big Boys Don't Cry, it was amazing how different professional actors are to, you know, to still professional actors, but, you know, but the quality of what they are, you can see where they got to, because 9/10 of what they were doing was in their eyes. It really, I could really believe what was going on in their eyes. And it was just, you know, it was amazing to see. And to be honest, you know, I thought they were going to change more of my dialogue that I'd written, but they didn't really change anything. And I kind of pushed them on that a few times, but they said, well, it's good as it is, why change it? And I was like, well, but you can though, right? But they didn't want to. So, you know, I think if they feel it works for the character, why would you?
In the business side, when you did the proof of concept, did you feel that the festival run, it had its own festival run, correct?
The short?
Yes.
We did later on put it into a festival, but we got the money for the film before that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So we made the proof of concept, and we were making it because we had people interested in the script. So once we'd done that and shown that to people, you know, they were up for funding it. So we didn't have to put the short through a festival at all if we wanted to. If didn't want to.
That's quite interesting. Because I thought that would be the way to go.
Can be, but, you know, it's sort of, you know, if you've got private funders, which we had, then why wait around? You know, all they want to see is, oh, it's going to look like that. Oh, it's going to be that sort of film. Oh, the actors are good. You know, this could be great. There's your money.
Do you do a private viewing for them, or just the trailer? Like, how do you interact with investors in that? Yeah,
so that would be Richard, who was the exec. He obviously reached out to them, and he sent a you know, clip of it. Or the short. And they could watch it as many times as they want.
Did you do any producing yourself within the...
Yeah, I started off producing it, you know, because you know, Richard, this was his first time execing. Paul was on board as an exec. And early days, around that time where we were trying to get the short made, I was just doing everything, you know. So it was kind of, you know, they put the trust in me. And I did what I needed to do to get it done. So, you know, but I love that. I don't ever, whatever I go on to do, film-wise, I don't ever want to just sit there in a chair or whatever. I want to be hands-on, you know, getting stuck in and doing whatever, whether it's going to buy a hat for someone or whatever, you know, it's kind of, that's part of the love for me.
Do you feel like you're going to do that same process again in the future, make a proof of concept before making a feature, or?
No. In all honesty, I mean, potentially could if I felt it was needed, but I think because it was my first feature I was moving up to, you needed to say, you know, yes, they're all my films I've done before, but where am I at now?
Yes.
You know, because you could, like I say, 5 or 6 films, I could show them that, but each one
is different.
Yeah, like the one I did 6 months ago is better than the one I did a year ago, and you know, so I needed to show them where I'm at now as a filmmaker, and it obviously was a lot better than everything I've ever done. So you know, it would be amiss really to kind of show them something that you've done a year ago and gone, well, this is me because not you.
Yes.
You've learned so much in that time.
Yes. Any advice you have for the first-time filmmakers who are considering making their first short film?
The first short film, don't have too grand an idea. You know, I've written probably 30, 40 shorts in my time. They're all up on my computer, you know, and I've made 6 of them. Because the bigger you make it, the more elaborate you make it, the less chance you've got of making it.
Yes.
You know, so concentrate on character and, you know, and you won't go far wrong.
Do you feel like you have to focus on minimizing locations, on budget and whatnot?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think if you can minimise locations, brilliant. You know, because that in turn will bring your budget down. Speed up your shoot. Etc. So yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, there's no reason why you can't have a decent short film just in a lounge. You know? If you've got the right concept going on.
Cool. And final question. What are you working on now? If you can't share anything. I know sometimes you can't share anything.
No, it's cool. So off the back of Big Boys Don't Cry, obviously it was a true story. Someone got in touch with me about a football film. Which I read the script. I didn't want to get involved in it. So, you know, there was a lot of offers off the back of that, which is great. But then someone got in touch with another true story. And it's actually on the surface, it's a boxing film. But it's not a boxing film at all. You know, there's so much going on in it. It's a life story of a boxer who grew up in Middlesbrough, basically. So we're at the stage now where the script's written, the deck's done, the financial plan's done. You know, we've got a contact in, hopefully, UAE that loves boxing. And this guy went on to become a world champion. So yeah, well, the funding phase is coming up soon on that. I'm also near the end of finishing another feature, writing-wise. And then I've got another one I wrote it 10 years ago, and it's something I've always wanted to make, but not been in a position. You know, when you're doing your first feature, I think it's extremely important to not aim too high budget-wise. The film I'm hopefully going on to make will be more in the millions, you know.
Yes. You know, I would have never expected that when you told me. I was like, oh.
What, Big Boys?
Right, I thought it was way more than that.
No.
But
I mean, that was a testament to everyone that was involved, because they all believed in it, and you know, Louis Blystead Collins is an awesome DOP. He's so quick, and he knows what I want up here, and you know, he's just a pleasure to work with. So, you know, having someone like that by your side is invaluable, really, when you're making films.
And will you still stick to the same type of genre, roughly, or?
So this is like I say, it's kind of boxing film, but that is it's at the back of it, I guess. It's, you know, it's not the narrative that drives through. It's a life story about a boy growing up in Middlesbrough, a place called Grangetown, which is really rough, and it's more about dysfunctional family unit, grief, depression, mental health, all things like that dogged him throughout his life, really. And it's really, really strong. Just the fact that someone's had a life that crazy is, you know, it's interesting.
For you, when it comes to shorts, probably not features, but when it comes to shorts, what do you think makes a strong, solid script?
It's easy to overwrite a short. That's for sure. I have in the past. Absolutely. But I think you've got to get to the heart of the story. You know, that is the hardest thing to do, and to do it well, because you can write a lot of stuff that leads up to that point,
Yeah.
But is it really needed? Can you go back? Can you trim? Can you,
Yeah.
you know, and still tell that same story?
Yes. Yes.
But I've always loved sort of abstract imagery, and you know, kind of making people work for for the film they're watching, you know, and actually trying to understand what I'm trying to convey, rather than feeding it to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for helping us.
Pleasure.
And hopefully I'll get to see your next feature film.
Yeah. Cool.
Once it's in the cinema, invite me.
Nice one. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.